Matthews has told me what happens to a family who have to leave because of slum clearance. But can you tell me why you offer them only one house instead of two in the first instance?
Well, we already know a great deal about their choice of future housing because we've been discussing it with them for several months. And over here we've got 100,000 houses managed by my department, so that we've an infinite variety of alternative accommodation to offer to them, from very old houses to the very latest modern flat. And the other point about it is that if I get a new block handed over with 30 flats in today, tomorrow 30 people can be viewing their new accommodation. But if I were to give each of them 2 keys, only 15 families could view, and that, I'm afraid, would slow our work down very considerably.
One must admire the drive and enthusiasm of the housing department. But in a vast organisation like that, is there any danger of it becoming an inhuman juggernaut?
Yes, we are well aware of this danger in all big organisations, and probably the best safeguard against it is a well-trained staff of housing visitors who take a really keen interest in their job and in the families with whom they're dealing.
That's very interesting, Mr. Macy. Now, do you go back after the tenants have moved and study their needs so that you can record them for future building purposes?
Oh yes, that's a process that's going on all the time. People working on the estates pick up information about tenants' likes and dislikes, gadgets that work and don't work, and we have the very closest liaison with the city architect and Sir Herbert Manzoni. I meet them 2 or 3 times a week, so that we are always passing this information on to them.
Sir Herbert Manzoni, you are city engineer and surveyor, and you're responsible for redevelopment and replanning in the city.
Yes, that is so.
Now, what was the size of Birmingham's housing problem after the war?
Well, we lost 20,000 houses in the whole of the city due to bombing. But that wasn't the most important problem. The real problem was the problem of derelict houses, obsolescence, houses that had passed beyond their useful life. And they're mostly concentrated in the centre of the city.
And what did the city do about this problem?
Well, the city decided to deal with it in a very comprehensive manner. They decided to buy the whole of the areas you see there, amounting to about 1,400 acres. And they got permission to do that under the Act of 1944, which was known as the Blitz and Blight Act. The blight part is the interesting one because these are derelict areas of slums long past the standard. And they decided to pull them all down and rebuild in their place what amounts to 5 small towns within the city area. This one at the bottom, Bath Row, is one which is developed fairly well up to the present time, and where Mrs. Bolger and her family are moving to.
What is the broad pattern for completing the redevelopment?
Well, there are more slums in the central areas than you see there. Those black patches on the map show where about 25,000 more houses of a slum character are being bought by the city at the present time. And they will be redeveloped in the same manner as the 5 areas we were talking about.
And how does this fit in with the whole of the city's plan?
Well, there is a plan for the whole city, and all the outer areas were built between the wars under planning schemes. We're now dealing with the centre, and all the amenities which were introduced into the outer areas, the roads and open spaces, will be extended into the centre. That shows a pattern of the parkways, the green parkways which were provided in the planning of the outer area, and you'll see that they're extended into the central areas. When that is completed in years to come, it'll be possible for people to walk about the city on grass without having to walk along the roads. And I think that's a very desirable object.
Yes. Sir Herbert, this is a tremendous and exciting enterprise. Are people enthusiastic about it?
Well, certainly the City Council is enthusiastic, and people who understand the scheme are also very enthusiastic. Of course, it's difficult for those who are being disturbed, but usually we find that when they get into their new environment or the new homes, they do get enthusiastic about the scheme. I think all of us realize that the important thing here is that it's a human problem. It isn't the bricks and mortar that matter, it's the people.